right. So the furniture manufacturer can make 30 to 60 tables a day and 40 to 100 chairs. So yesterday what we did was graph our linear system of equations, shade our region where the inequalities overlap, and then we found the vertices of the overlap. What we need to do now is to find the objective function, which is the function involving our profit. So our profit is $150 a table and $65 a chair. So that would be like 165x, because x is tables, or sorry, 150x plus 65y, because y is chairs. And then it says how many tables and chairs should they make per day to maximize their profit. Well, my only potential maximum profit points are going to be at the vertices. So what we're going to do is plug in to our profit function each of those vertex points. So it's 150 times our x value plus 65 times my y value. So if I make 30 and 40, then I can make a profit of $7,100 that day. If I produce 60 and 40, which, I mean, hello, we should know it's more money because 60 is greater than 30 and the y values are the same, I can make a profit of $11,600. If I produce many less tables, but many more chairs, my profit is $10,350. And if I produce an equal number of tables and chairs, my profit is $12,900. So the furniture manufacturer can maximize profit by making 60 tables and 60 chairs for a max profit of $12,900. Suppose that the profit margin increases so that you make 175 per table. So now we have a new profit equation. It's 175x and 100y. Which vertex point is my maximum now? How many think it's going to be at the same point? How many think it'll be at a different point? You raised your hand twice. Such trickery. All right, let's find out. So we'll go backwards because I'm just going to go backwards on my thing. We're going to find P of 60, 60. But now it'll be 175 and 100. So now it's 16,500. Let's do 30/90, 60/40, and the one I know isn't going to win, 30/40. Yep. Same point. hate that that bled through. Suppose that you are selling cases of mixed nuts and roasted peanuts. Good thing Nico's not here. He'd be allergic to this problem. You can now order no more than a total of 500 cans and packages to spend no more than $600. How can you maximize your profit, and how much is your maximum profit? So we have cases and cans, and we have profit per can and per case. So we have to create our functions in a way that we keep them organized. So it's kind of like the other day when we talked about like the cupcakes and the cookies, and how like you baked a batch of cookies with 15 cupcakes, or a batch of cupcakes with 12 of them. So there are 12 cans per case, and we pay $24 per case. So we could figure out how much we pay per can, right? So if we have a selling point at per can and a profit per case, again, you can figure out your profit per can. So do you want to talk about cases or cans?
Cases. Someone want to change.
Okay. So we can have a total of 500 cans and packages though. So if we talk about cases, how are you going to account for your 500?
You have to buy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably
So,
cans.
like but that's okay. Like that's what I want to like talk and like figure out. You know what I mean? Like, cause you're right. At first I'm like looking at it, I'm like, oh, well, if I do cases, I don't have decimals on like my price per can. But if I do the cans, then I have to just make sure that if I set up my equation with the 500, I have to have like the 12 on my X and the 20 on my Y, which is fine. It's just you have to go, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I said from the beginning, you kind of just have to pick what you want to do, because it just makes it easier at the end. So yeah, I mean, we can still do cases. It's okay. Just know you have to include the 12 and the 12 and the 20. So it'd be 12x, because it's 12 cans per case, plus 20y, because it's 20 packages per case, has to be less than or equal to 500. You pay $24 per case and of nuts and $15 per case of peanuts. So that's your X and your Y. So we want to know how many we can order, so we could plot our graph for 12x plus 20y less than or equal to 500. So I would get my X and Y intercepts, because those are going to be my biggest number. So 500 divided by 12 is 41.6. Oh well. Okay.
What do you go buying one?
I went by fives. And again, we know we're in the corners because we can't order negative cases or cans.
Is that 45 or what is
it's 41.6 repeating. And then my y-intercept was at 25. I have no more than $600. So now I have to talk about the amount of cost in terms of $600. So if I pay 24 per case, and X represents the number of cases, then I have 24X plus 15 case at Y, and I have to once again be less than or equal to 600. So that's going to be my second inequality involving the amount of money I can spend. So my x-intercept here is 600 divided by 24, which is a nice 25. And over here, 600 divided by 15, which is 40. So we can't spend more than that, and we can't go over the pink line. So my Y overlap is the pink and the purple. So my vertices are the X and Y intercepts of the pink and the purple. So that's 0, 25, and 25, 0. Obviously 0, 0, but we know a profit on 0, 0 is going to be
0, 0.
Yep. And then we have to find the point of intersection of the two equations. If you were concerned your graph wasn't great, what could you do to find that point of intersection? Go ahead, Addison.
Use a calculator.
We could. So if you're going to use the calculator, though, what are we doing? What are we going to end up doing to make it that we could do that? Think back to one of our previous lessons. What's happening here? That is the what? Yeah, the point of intersection, right? So it's where this graph in pink meets this graph in purple. So you have 12x, yep, so you could do substitution or elimination. Personally, I'd do elimination because I'd just multiply the top one by -2. Should be a nice number. JK. So you get y is equal to 16. And again, if you looked at your graph, like you can kind of see that, but it's a little... And then you could take your 16, plug it back in for y. So it would be like 500 minus 20 times 16 divided by 12, which is 15. As I said, like personally, if I'm like questioning it, it's you can go back to the algebra elimination substitution days and get it exact. How about my objective function? So if it's $18 per case, that's like P of Why 24x?
Did you say $24 per case?
$18 a case.
Plus 15.
Yeah. We pay 18x. Or we pay $24. Our profit is 18. So what do you sell it for? No.
6.
No.
37.
42. You gotta add them together. If cost and profit equals revenue minus cost. And then you just plug each of these points in. So you have 25 times 15, which is 375. You have 25 times 18, which is 450. And then you have 25 times, or 15 times 18 plus 16 times 15, which is 670. So once again, yes.
I was just going to ask you who your favorite one.
Sorry, I was getting there. I can't see behind me anymore. All right, so once again, we notice that the maximum is at the intersection of my two lines. So we're going to sell 15 cases of mixed nuts, 16 cases of peanuts, and we're going to make $670.
Tonight's homework is the even of what we didn't do last night.
Is tonight's homework what?
The even of what we didn't do last night.
No. So, to prepare and start studying for our upcoming chapter test, to kind of switch things up, boys are going to do the odds and girls are going to do the evens and the rest of the packet.
The rest of boys
Yeah.
do odds, girls do.
So on Monday, we're going to sit in mixed groups. I feel weird doing it by gender though, but it's just easier to do it.
So we have.
I know, we could count off. Do you want me to?
That's fine.
I just don't know if I feel like having all the boys in a mixed group, like to check your work.
That's actually a good point.
Yeah, no, I know, but then are you gonna get mad at like the rest?
We might get mad at each other.
That's what I'm saying. Like if I put all the boys in one group, I think there might be some.
I think you just assign Elijah all of them, and then the rest of us are fine.
Yeah.
All right, we'll just count off, and if when I count you off, you're an even number, you do the evens, and when I count you off, if you're an odd number, you do the odds.
Could just do one.
Sound good?
I was okay with the gender thing, but yeah.
3.
4,
5, 6,
7,
8,
9.
10.
11.
Oh, Jesus.
12.
Can I switch to an even?
No.
Please. Can I just be in
All right,
between?
I'm gonna
Times the
text
decimal?
Nico, make him 13, and Lucas 14. Did you already forget your number? Yes.
So, like, in the beginning of the packet, we didn't